My next guest was one of the big winners this past weekend at UFC Vegas 117, getting it done in the second round against Andre Petrosky. It is Cody Brundage, live from the car right now. Cody, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Not as good as you, though, man. Second round finish, and I believe it was your birthday as well. Pretty good couple days for you, I'd say.
Yeah, it's been really good, man. And I just got called yesterday. I was applying to be a firefighter out here. Got accepted to the academy, so it's been
right on.
all around.
Good stuff. A lot of good luck going around. So we're a few days removed from the finish. You took out Andre Petrosky. You got to be feeling good about that win, just getting a finish and putting a stamp on that fight.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like since my Mansour fight, I've definitely had my moments in fights and just haven't capitalized and been able to seal the deal, so to speak. And so it was good to go in there and really have a statement win against a vet. Andre's had a lot of success. At one point, I feel like he was pretty close to the top 15. And so to get him out of there after that first round was good for sure.
Yeah, no, it was a great win. Anything about Andre surprised you in this fight, or pretty much what you expected?
He came out orthodox. That was a bit surprising. Normally he fights southpaw, so that kind of threw me off for a little bit. But we've trained together. I know him pretty well. I know he's a strong grappler, good wrestler. He was very patient, but nothing too surprising. I feel like I've kind of seen it all now. 16 fights deep in the UFC. Nothing's that big of a shock anymore.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you get the win. It was early on the card. How did you celebrate after the victory?
Oh, we got a party bus and just rode around hours, and it was good. My wife's pregnant, so she couldn't really party too hard. But yeah, it was a good night, man. We had a good time. Got back to the girls the next day, and so yeah, not very often, I guess, you get the chance to win a fight on your birthday. So we definitely took advantage of it. It was a good time.
And as far as your contract, remind me again, do you have a couple fights left? Because I feel like it was always kind of fight to fight with you the last few.
Got 2 left on this deal, so hopefully win this next one, don't fight it out, get a new one. But I'll have a little break here. I'm not going to fight for a while, so we'll see.
Yeah, when's your wife due? When's the little one coming?
She's due end of July, so I'm pretty much shot for that, and then academy for fire service is August through December. So I'd be shocked if I fight again this year, which would be different. I already had 3 this year, so the inactivity will be a little bit odd, but all good things and good reasons. So looking forward to what's ahead.
How is that all going to work going forward? Because obviously, being a firefighter takes up, you got to go to school, it takes a lot of time. And then I know you were coaching as well at Factory X. So how are you sort of navigating through things along with still, technically being an active fighter?
Yeah, I'm coaching a little bit less. There's a couple guys that I've traveled with, Dustin Jacoby and, the staple guys that I'm normally with. And then with firefighting, the early part's very intensive in terms of time, but then it's 48 hours on, so 2 days on, 4 days off. You can kind of switch some shifts around and make it work to be able to fight. I don't know if I'll be able to fight on 5 days notice all the time like I have been. I'm not saying I won't be able to do that, but I think I'll just have a few less fights a year and more notice than normal. But I think it'll all work out pretty well. I'm only 32, so some time off will be good. I feel like since I got signed to the UFC, I've been the most active dude in the UFC, so it'll be good to get some relaxation and have some more stability in my life with a job like firefighting and things like that.
What's been the UFC's response to sort of you? I'm sure you've kept them in the loop, like, hey, I'm doing this on the side or whatever, because they've always liked you, Cody. That's one of the things you and I have talked about, is that you're reliable, you put on entertaining fights. It's one of those things with you where it's that the UFC knows what they're going to get from you. It's always going to be an entertaining fight.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't really spoke to them about it yet. I kind of just got the news that I was even accepted, so I wasn't going to really bring it to them until I knew that, okay, this was something that we're going to do. But I have a meeting with my management next week and just kind of talk about what we want to do moving forward. I knew I was going to be out for a little bit of time anyway with the baby coming, so we're just going to extend that a little bit. Like I said, I've already fought 3 times this year. The UFC knows I'm down to fight. I don't really say no too often, and I'm always going to make weight. It's always going to be an entertaining fight. They've always taken care of me. I think the UFC, though, is also very aware that, while it's an awesome job, it's not really a career, and they're not going to hold it against me that I want to go find something that I can do as a career while also being a part of the company. I love the company. I feel like I'm the ultimate company man anyway. So, uh, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I got to talk to my management next week. Like I said, this is all rapidly developing. So, but I don't anticipate there being any issues.
What was it like this week being part of your card where everyone's sort of talking about this MVP event, and I'm sure you caught a bit of it after, but it seemed like that was kind of taking the shine away from you guys a little bit.
Yeah, I always find it weird when companies try to be like the UFC, right? Like I feel like these companies, these other fight promotions would do much better the more they could leave the UFC out of whatever it is that they're doing.
Mm.
I think the comparison all the time is tough because you're just setting yourself up for failure at a certain point. Um, like no, the Canadian Football League isn't comparing themselves to the NFL. They're just saying like we're our own thing. We do things a little bit differently. We have some different rules. We do stuff different. They market themselves as different. So I just find it a bit weird, when MVP does that because I don't think you're setting yourself up for success.
Mhm.
I got to catch the end of the card. Yeah, I don't know what I thought about it. I think like Francis Ngannou fighting Philip Lins is not exciting to me. It doesn't really make sense. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think Mike Perry, Nate Diaz on paper sounds awesome, and then when you're watching the fight, you're like, oh, this is not a great fight.
Mhm.
And Mike Perry looked great, so I'm not taking anything away from him, but like it just looked like guys who like how Bellator used to be kind of,
Mhm.
like these guys
Yeah.
aren't in their prime, they're not doing the best that they've ever done in their career, and it almost seems like uh I don't know, like almost like taking advantage of their name value,
Yeah.
you know. And
No,
uh
that's
and then the
fair.
main event, yeah, I think the main event, I don't know, is what I thought it would be, but it was you build this huge promotion, you have a 14-second anticlimactic finish. Gina doesn't even throw a single punch. I don't know. I don't know what MVP does from here, to be honest. I don't know how you market that more than once or twice. Kind of like the Jake Paul thing. It'll sell for a little bit, but then eventually people will kind of get over the shtick. And unless you start bringing real matchups to the table, nobody really wants to see it.
Yeah, no, that's a fair assessment. Just last one for me. Big stuff going on in your division. We have a new champion, Sean Strickland. What did you make of that performance with him beating Chimaev? He was like a 4-1 underdog, and he does it again. He did it against Adesanya, and now he does it against Chimaev. A couple fights later.
Yeah, he's super steadfast, man. Nobody can really take him out of his game. I thought Shemaev, after that first round, I thought he would just kind of do what he did to everybody and take him down and kind of control him. And obviously, we don't know what the guy's feeling in there, but something that Sean does just makes people feel like they can't do that. And he was able to get the victory. I wouldn't have been mad at Shemaev getting the nod there either. I saw a lot of people saying potentially it was a robbery. I didn't think it was a robbery. I just thought it was a close fight. Yeah, and I don't know what you do with Shemaev now either. Does he go up to 205? And if they said he was cutting like 40 pounds or something that week, which is absurd. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of good fights though with Sean as the champ. I can't wait to see him and Imavov run the rematch back. I think that'll be a great fight. Don't really know who's gonna win, but yeah, it opens up new blood in the division. Sean can fight anybody, and it'll be a pretty entertaining fight. So, yeah, it's all good.
Well, I was going to ask you about that too, because you mentioned like Chimaev and, he wants the rematch with Strickland. I don't know why the UFC would want to do that fight. Well, for two reasons. Number one, they kind of squash the beef with each other, right? So it kind of loses the luster in the rematch. And I know the fight was close. I was the same way. I thought Chimaev was going to get the nod, and they gave it to Strickland. But the other thing is that like Chimaev has expressed very vocally prior to this fight about him going to 205. So is it in the best interest of the UFC to have a fighter compete at 185 when we already know he wants to go to 205? It's probably not good long term, right?
Yeah, and in the UFC one, I mean, if we're to believe what everybody said, Khalil said that the UFC had hit him up to fight Yuri Prochazka.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the UFC's already kind of in talks about him going to 205, just seems like let the guy go to 205.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. I just saw the embedded where Armin, I think, was like, oh, he's cutting 21 kilos or something this week, which is it's just unheard of. Like, I don't know how anyone could perform cutting that much weight. Obviously, they can't to their best. So yeah, I would let him go up. And it's not like 205 is not super exciting right now. Like you got a champ who's potentially out. Shemaev could make some noise immediately. It does nothing but make that division better. It doesn't really hurt middleweight too much, especially if he's not able to perform because of the weight cut. So I think it would be all good all around for them to kind of just let him go up and do his thing. And the thing I wish UFC would do more, especially when it comes to like the weight issue is like let guys go up, but then don't let them come back down. Like once
Yeah.
you go up, you're up. You
Yeah.
don't need to come back down. Like because you kind of see guys flip flop back and forth. I don't think that's good. I think like pick your weight class, especially when you're going up.
Yeah.
Like okay, you need to stay up if you're going to go up. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with that.
Cody, best of luck with firefighter school. I think is what you call it. Best of luck with incoming fatherhood and all that. And yeah, hope it all works out. In the meantime, if you got anything you want to mention before we get out of here, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, man, just appreciate you. Always give me a good platform. Appreciate my team, my management, Factory X, my family. Excited to enjoy some time off. Appreciate Mick and the UFC. They always keep me super busy, and yeah, happy to get the win in the last one. Nothing like winning, nothing like losing. So we're gonna ride this high for a little bit, and then you'll probably see me back in there maybe early 2027.